Ever since his knockout of Errol Spence on July 29th, undisputed champ and pound-for-pound king, Terence Bud Crawford, has been on a media tour. You know, Bud has been one of the best fighters in the world for a long time now, and he's finally getting the recognition and love and notoriety that he deserves. But unsurprisingly, whose name has been brought up in all of these interviews? Of course, it's the face of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, just like when Inouye won, who was the first fighter on people's minds? Gervonta Tank Davis. And it seems like after Bud beat Errol, the same thing is happening, with people now wanting to see Bud Crawford versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Bud got asked what he thought about a fight with Gervonta Davis, and this is what he had to say.
So you're not catching weight.
It's weight classes for a reason.
It's levels.
Tell them to come up. Tell them to come up here where the big boys at.
All right,
I'll welcome them.
As you heard Bud say, he'll welcome Tank to 147 pounds, but that there's weight classes for a reason. He also reiterated that on the Breakfast Club when he got asked about the Tank fight on the Breakfast Club, and he said the same thing, that there's weight classes for a reason, and he wouldn't get credit for beating a fighter as small as Gervonta Davis.
Big money fight, yeah.
So Spence.
But then what? Everybody gonna say he was too small. Nobody gonna give me credit.
Yeah.
They're gonna say, "Oh man, you beat up a little guy that's fight at 135." Yeah, Tank like 5'5".
Mm-hmm.
He's a little guy.
Now the funny thing about this is, all the people that were crying when people started talking about Tank versus Inouye, talking about it was a dumb fight and Tank was too big and it didn't make sense, they're all in support of this fight right here, of Tank versus Bud Crawford. When the fact is, Bud was right. Tank is extremely small. He's 5'5". He's small for 135 pounds. This is Tank in May of 2022, just last year, when he fought Rolly. He weighed in at 133 pounds, and this is what he looked like. He didn't look dry. He didn't look sucked up. It's clear to see if he wanted to, he could still make 130 pounds. You compare his body right there to his body right here, to the last time he did make 130 pounds against Leo Santa Cruz. This is the last time you've seen Tank cut up like that with abs and shit. Partly it's because he's covered in tattoos now. He got a lot of tattoos, so you really can't see what his body really looks like. That's part of it. But the other part is, he's just not cutting that much weight. Well, I ain't going to say he's not cutting a lot of weight, but he's not cutting as much weight as he could be. Like a fighter like Devin Haney, who come to the scale with nothing left to cut. Devin Haney go to the scale, he looked like a skeleton. Even in that picture right there, at Tank at 130, you look in his face, through the mask, you could tell his face still wasn't sucked up. He wasn't sucked in. He was healthy at 130 pounds. And we just heard one of his teammates, Lorenzo Simpson, before the Hector Garcia fight. I don't know if it was before the Hector Garcia fight or before the Ryan Garcia fight, but Truck said Tank could still make 130 pounds, and I believe him.
It's going to be a catch weight. Who do you feel like that's an advantage to?
Neither really, because really Tank not really that big really, so it ain't like Tank is you know how like some guys is bigger at that weight class. Tank really like a 26, 30 pounder, so he's just comfortable at that weight class.
And if you've been listening to my channel for a while, you know I've been saying this, that Tank is not a natural 135 pound fighter. He's a natural 130 pounder if he wanted to cut the weight, but it's clear he's just comfortable at 135. So he's really fighting out of his weight class already. So the more realistic fight would be, which I'm sorry to the haters, but Tank versus Inouye. Rigondeaux moved up 8 pounds from 122 to 130 to fight Lomachenko. Inouye can't do it to fight Tank. We know Tank is a prize fighter. He fights for money. That's what he's about. That's what he's on. And just looking around right now, I don't see a bigger money fight for Gervonta Davis than Inouye. So I'm sure that he would make 130 pounds for that fight. But as far as going up 2-3 weight classes to 147 to fight Terence Crawford, I don't see that happening. Tank has already stated that he wasn't comfortable at 140 pounds after he fought Mario Barrios. So I don't think he would go up a weight class after that. Almost another 10 pounds, 7 pounds, and fighting Bud Crawford. I don't see it happening. But we don't know. We don't know what Tank want to do. He could take that fight if he wanted to. Would I pick Tank to win that fight with Bud? Honestly speaking, Tank is my favorite fighter, but I don't know if I would pick him to win that fight with Bud simply off size, which is the only reason I give Shakur the edge over Tank, really. His defense and his size. And the only chance that I give Devin Haney over Tank is his size. You know, if Tank was 5'8", I got him beating everybody the fuck up. But because he's so small, that is a disadvantage. I'm going to say this, though, about that fight with Tank and Bud. I know a lot of people going to be hating in the comments talking about, what? You don't know who will win between Tank and Bud. Did you not see what he did to Earl? I'm going to say this. We seen Bud in close fights before with fighters not as good as Earl. Styles make fights. Going into a fight with Gervonta Davis, Bud's not going to have that same size advantage and speed and athleticism as he did over Earl going into a fight with Tank. They damn near neck and neck in speed and athleticism. So it will look way different than the fight with Earl Spence. And I guarantee it will be a lot closer. You know, a lot of people are saying that Bud would just go wash Tank way worse than he did Earl. Nah, it will look totally different. Will he still win? Probably, yeah. Like I said before, off the size advantage. Like Bud said, off the size is weight classes for a reason. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bud had to get off the canvas once or twice in a fight with Tank. But that's what I got for y'all. I'm out.